right screen. There we go. Good morning, everybody. It is, hi Randy, Thursday, September 9th. We haven't done one of these in a bit. We honestly, as much as I want to generate content for YouTube, we haven't really been getting any response from the videos that we do for these things on YouTube. So it takes a lot of time, it takes a lot of effort, it takes a lot of energy and manpower to edit the videos and stuff like that to get them up there. And if people aren't going to utilize them, then there's not really a point into doing it. But this week we are back to doing a video because it's pretty important. So this week starts off the let me mute this really quick. This week starts off the first week that we as a comic book store are ordering Marvel comics from Penguin Random House. For those of you that don't know, we shot a huge video about how the process works from ordering comics to getting them in your weekly hold slot. It's on YouTube. It's on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/c/Hall of Justice Comics Collectibles. Check that out. Hit the bell so that you get notifications of when new content is posted. Starting with this Monday's FOC, Marvel has decided that they're leaving Diamond for another distribution opportunity. So they are going to be exclusively distributed through Penguin Random House, which is a book distributor, book publisher that's been around forever. And so we as retailers could either stay with Diamond. Diamond's still going to work as a wholesaler of Marvel comics, meaning they're going to buy them from Penguin and then turn around and wholesale them to stores. The problem with that is that our already thin margins on new comic books get even thinner, and we have to continue to pay for shipping through Diamond. Our other option is to go to Penguin Random House, which we lose profit margin on our books. We were getting a better discount at Diamond when Diamond was a wholesaler. We do get free shipping from Penguin, but we don't know how that's going to work out because Penguin has not done periodical comic book issue distribution before. So it's all kind of up in the air. We've ordered trades from them. We've ordered graphic novels for them. Packing is almost as bad as Diamond is. I'm hoping and praying that with this first shipment of comic books, things are going to be different. When DC departed Diamond to go to Lunar last year, that's one of the things that we noticed is that, even though Lunar is technically discount comic book subscription service, DCBS, our damages are few and far between what they are with Diamond. I mean, we're lucky if we get maybe one or two books that are damaged in a Lunar distribution shipment versus an entire stack of things from Diamond. So it makes me nervous. It makes me worried that things are only going to get worse for Diamond, that they are going to care even less and we're going to have more damages. But the whole point of this spiel is that now we're going to have to do 3 separate orders. So I have to do Sunday, I have to do FOC with Lunar. Monday and Tuesday I have to do FOC with Diamond and with Penguin Random House, and it is just an absolute mind F, for lack of better terms, as to how this is all going to break down. So please, if we need to keep doing these videos to get more people on board with the FOC process, please get your FOC requests in. Please don't drag your feet on it, because at this point, I can't guarantee. I don't know what's going to happen. If we continue to order the way that we have been ordering with minimal rack copies for certain books and we're getting damages from Penguin or from Diamond, then we're not going to have any rack copies. And so if you don't ask for it ahead of time, you're not going to be able to get it. You're not going to be able to call on Wednesday and say, hey, did you get such and such book in? Can you throw one of those in my hold slot? No, we can't. It takes too much time and too much energy and effort to be able to do that. So please, for the love of God, look through the FOC information. This still happens. I type this up every single week. It's up on the website. You can take a look at it and read through it. You can disregard it. But this week has some major things happening. So let's get to it. All right. So FOC dates haven't changed. Penguin and Diamond are still going to be on Monday. DC is still going to be on Sunday, as much of a headache as that is. So anything that you see on this list that's a DC product is due to us by 11 a.m. Mountain Time, Sunday, September 12th. Everything else, even the Marvel stuff, the rest of the Diamond stuff, Monday, September 13th, also by 11 a.m. If you want to subscribe to anything, okay, that's the other caveat real quick. It was a couple of months ago when we were doing these videos on Facebook. Facebook took one of our videos down because we were breaching their sales rules or something like that. So please don't comment on this video if you would like to add or drop or sub or pull, unless you're watching this on YouTube, and then you're okay. If you're watching this on Facebook, don't comment on this video. I put links to the actual Facebook post in the description of this video here right now on Facebook. When will then be now? Soon. So click on that link, go to the post, put your comments on that post, and then I'll get those all taken care of Sunday and Monday. So that's the last piece that I wanted to. But the way you do it is up there. If you'd like to subscribe to anything so you don't miss out on an issue, so they're waiting for you in your hold slot, please comment sub with the title. If you just want to pull a copy or multiple copies or variant covers or whatever it is that you like, please comment pull with the title, the cover that you would like, and the quantity that you'd like to order. And as long as that gets into us by FOC, sky's the limit, okay? Covers that are in bold did not have images at the time of this write-up, so that's something I'll show you how you can keep track of. It'll be different with Marvel this week. I know that Marvel, since Diamond is still wholesaling Marvel, you should still be able to find Marvel stuff through the means that I'm going to show you, but we're going to double check at the end of this, okay? From Dark Horse this week, this is an original graphic novel set in the world of Critical Role Mighty Nine. It is the origins of Caleb Widogast. A fire can keep you warm, or it can consume you. When Bren Aldrich I can't say any of these names, was chosen to ascend the Soltrice Academy, everyone knew he would have an important future in service to the Empire. But nobody, least of all Bren himself, could foresee the cruelty he would endure and the ways in which it would break and remake him. Witness the events that transform Bren into the Mighty Nine's Caleb Widogast, and how they inform a path he'll take in the future. Writer Jody Hauser joins fan favorite artist Selena Espiritu and game master Matthew Mercer and cast member Liam O'Brien to reveal Caleb's troubled past in this all-new hardcover graphic novel. $17.99 and 56 pages. So check that out if you're into the Critical Role stuff. Make sure you get that ordered. That one is probably not in stores on October 5th, but that's okay. From DC this week, we have Arkham City, The Order of the World, #1 of 6. Now, at least issue #1 of this is a tie-in to the Fear State story arc that's going on. That's all kind of the brainchild of Mr. James Tynion. So if you're in on all things Fear State, you're going to have a copy of this waiting for you in your hold slot. If you're not, and this sounds right up your alley, please let us know, and we'd be happy to either add it to you as a subscription or at least pull a copy for you. The Joker's attack on Arkham Asylum left the long-standing Gotham establishment in ruin. Most of the patients killed or missing, and only a handful of surviving staff, a few nurses, a gravely injured security guard, and one doctor. In the chaos of the assault, it's believed that several of the asylum's patients escaped and scurried off into the dark nooks and crannies of Gotham City. Now these Arkhamites walk among us, and it's up to the asylum's one remaining doctor, Jocasta Joy, to round up her former patients. Meet these Arkhamites, a woman with no face, a piggy in search of perfection, a man who feels nothing and burns everything, a woman who must devour life to save herself, a man unfit for the waking world who looks instead for Wonderland, a body with more than one soul, a being unbound from the time who lives in the present and the past, a boy who seeks the comfort of vermin, and the twisted man who sees them all for who they are. And witness the avenging angel who stalks them. This fall, join writer Dan Waters and artist Danny on an odyssey through the deepest depths and darkest shadows of Gotham City and find all new reasons to fear the night. Cover A is by Sam Wolfe, and cover B is a cardstock cover by Mr. Francesco Mattina. Arkham City, The Order of the World, 6-issue miniseries, $3.99 for the A cover, $4.99 for the B cover. It looks pretty cool. Next from DC this week comes Batman The Audio Adventures Special #1, just a one-shot. I really don't know how to... We're going to read the solicit together, kids, and then you can figure out if you want to order this or not. It is $10 or $11, so we'll lead off with that. Story by Dennis McNicholas, Bobby Moynihan, Heidi Gardner, Paul Scheer, and more. So we got a lot of comedians in there. Art by Leandro Romero, Junie Ba, and more. You hear that beautiful racket? That's the music of Gotham City, the largest city in the world, the big gargoyle, the treasure of the night. Anyone who calls it a crime-infested hellhole is dead wrong. No way hell has such great pierogies. So join us here, as we bring you the stories behind the hit HBO Max scripted original podcast with this sensational prequel one-shot, written by the very creators and talent who lend their voices to the show. And unless you've been living in a cave, you know that after years of rumors, we find out not only is the Batman real, not only is he one of the good guys, turns out he's going to be a cop. With special appearances by King Scimitar, Stoveplate Sullivan, Billy Wristwatch, and others directly from the podcast. This oversized special brings you deeper into the mysteries behind Batman the Audio Adventures. The main cover on the left there is by Dave Johnson. It's pretty spectacular. The B cover right here beside me is by Francis Manipal. $9.99 on the left, $10.99 right here beside me. I guess it's a podcast. There's two things that are tied to podcasts that are on FOC this week from DC, so pay attention. Next from DC, part of the Black Label series, is Batman the Imposter, number 1 of 3. Bruce Wayne's mission as the Batman has only been underway for a year or so, but he can tell he's making a difference. Unfortunately, he's made some powerful enemies. All the traditional power brokers of Gotham resent the disruption the Batman has brought to town, and it seems one of them has a plan to neutralize him. There's a second Batman haunting Gotham's rooftops and alleys, and this one has no qualms about murdering his criminals, live and on tape. With the entire might of the Gotham City PD and Gotham's rich and powerful coming down on his head, Batman must find this imposter and somehow clear his name. But how can you prove your innocence from behind a mask? Director and screenwriter Mattson Tomlin from Project Power and Little Fish has teamed up with Eisner-winning suspense and horror artist Andrea Sorrentino from Joker, Killer Smile, Gideon Falls, Old Man Logan, and many, many others, to create a wholly new version of Gotham City, informed by grim reality where every punch leaves a broken bone and every action has consequences far, far beyond Batman's imagination. Main cover on the far left is by Andrea Sorrentino. Variant cover right here beside me is by Lee Bermejo. They're both $5.99, 3-issue miniseries, part of Black Label. The one thing that I couldn't figure out is if it's going to be magazine-sized or regular comic size, so I'm not sure as of right now. Okay? Here's the other one. This is DC Horror Presents Soul Plumber, number 1 of 6. From the creators of the last podcast on the left, exorcism just got a whole lot easier. After attending a seminar hosted in a hotel conference room by a mysterious group called the Soul Plumbers, Edgar Wiggins, disgraced former seminary school student, discovers what he thinks is the secret to delivering souls from the thrall of Satan. But after stealing the blueprints and building the machine himself out of whatever he can afford from his salary as a gas station attendant, Edgar misses the demon and instead pulls out an interdimensional alien with dire consequences for all mankind. It sounds a little bit like a weird defunct Ghostbusters sort of thing. Cover A on the far left is by John McCrae. Cover B right here beside me is by Tom Neely. $3.99, $4.99. DC Horror Presents Soul Plumber, number 1 of 6. Finally, from DC this week, we have another $10 one-shot. Wonder Woman, The Adventures of Young Diana, special number 1. Again, just a one-shot. The world may know her as Wonder Woman, but once upon a time she was Diana, the young princess of Themyscira. Back then, she struggled to find her place on an island deemed paradise by many, but which was to her a prison. Trapped in her role as a royal and shielded from the harsh realities of man's world, it's a man's world, Diana yearned for adventure, or at least a purpose. So when ancient texts portraying her home's history go missing, she gets both. How far will our hero go to find the texts and the truths they're hiding? Find out in this exciting story that promises to be a classic for years to come. Collected together for the first time, these backup stories by Eisner Award winner Jordi Belair and rising star Paulina Ganuchao provide an intimate look into Wonder Woman's upbringing and dangerous secrets of her past that you'll never forget. The cover right there is by Paulina Ganuchao. $9.99, Wonder Woman, The Adventures of Young Diana. Okay? From IDW this week comes Star Trek Mirror War #1. Return to the mirror universe of the next generation with this brand new series from writers David and Scott Tipton, where familiar faces and exciting new surprises await around every corner. To conquer the mirror universe, Captain Picard must first seize control of the shipbuilding planet of Fondori. The only problem, Fondori is inside Klingon Cardassian Alliance territory, with the cover A by J.K. Woodward on the far left and a cover B by Amanda Madriaga. Both of those are $3.99. Okay, I'm jazzed about this one, man. Anytime Rick Remender's got something new, I am in. I love that guy. His writing is amazing. From Image this week comes Righteous Thirst for Vengeance #1, a new ongoing crime series from the writer of Deadly Class. When an unassuming man stumbles upon a dark web contract assassin's vicious plot to kill an innocent target, he turns himself into one. The professional meets Road to Perdition in the story of a family's unlikely guardian being hunted by rich and powerful men who are used to getting away with everything. Join Rick Remender and Andre Araujo for a uniquely atmospheric murder mystery with sudden bouts of brutal violence. If that's your kind of thing, then you should definitely check this out. Righteous Thirst for Vengeance #1 from Image and Rick Remender. Okay? All right, here we go. So this is the Marvel section. This is all the stuff that I've got to order from a new distributor, courtesy of Penguin Random House. Thankfully, most of the covers were in on time, actually well ahead of schedule, considering I wrote this up yesterday while I was here at the store, so a lot of these covers were in on Wednesday. From Marvel this week comes Amazing Spider-Man 75. I mean, we just had 74, which was Legacy number 850, I don't know. But Spider-Man is back to thrice monthly, I guess, because the story is pure jet fuel. Is anybody asking for 3 times a month? That's basically weekly. Ben Reilly has returned to New York City and has fully taken back the mantle of Spider-Man. But what does this mean for Peter Parker? The greatest team of web writers has come together with the most epic arachnid artists ever assembled to bring you a spider story that will shake up Spider-Man's 59th year in ways you cannot predict. So this one, we just did FOC for 74, which was a $10 book. This one, which is number 75, is only $6, but it has a whole mess of covers. So get ready, buckle up, Buttercup. Main cover is a wraparound cover right there by Art Adams. Stormbreaker variant right there by Iban Coelho. Pat Gleason webhead variant, that's pretty cool, especially the fact that you've got Amazing Spider-Man in the web below his eyeballs. In-Hyuk Lee variant looks pretty cool. Joe Jusko Marvel Masterpieces variant. All right, I want to bring attention to this because starting with these books that are shipping in October, almost every Marvel title has a Joe Jusko Masterpiece variant cover. I didn't highlight all of them because this FOC is already ungodly long, but I'll show you where you can check that out. I think Captain Marvel's on FOC this week that has a Joe Jusko Masterpiece cover. So if you dig his style of art, you should totally check the rest of these out. We'll talk more about that here in a second. Alex Ogle variant for Spider-Man 75. Ron Lim variant. We got Peter and Ben right there. And then you'll notice right there, there is a Scotty Young variant that did not have an image when I wrote this up. So we'll be on the lookout for that. We'll check that later on after we get through all this stuff, okay? Next from Marvel comes Eternals Celestia #1. If you remember, there was a Thanos one-shot that I think is technically out next week. This is another one-shot building on the world of the Eternals. There is no God for the Eternals. Now that the truth of their existence is revealed, Ajak and Makari must pick up the pieces and try to find a road forward, no matter how terrifying it will be or how their choices will irrevocably shock the rest of the Eternals. Also, how did the Avengers of 1 million BC figure into it? With a main cover on the far left by Esad Ribic, a variant cover right here beside me by Nelson Blake, and a Deadpool 30th anniversary variant cover by none other than Mr. Rob Liefeld. So there you go. I want to say those are all $3.99 instead of $4.99, so that's nice. Okay, I know we just talked about $10, $6 books. Here's another one, kids. Immortal Hulk #50, the series finale. That's it. It's over after this. If you've been paying attention, Al Ewing and Donnie Cates are flipping the script. Al is going over to write Venom. Donnie is coming over to write a new Hulk series. Both of them are starting with #1 that I think will be on order in the month of October. I can't remember. But anyway, down in the below place, the Hulk searches among the ghosts of the past for the answer to all his questions. The one below all, the Green Door, Samuel Stearns, Jackie McGee, and Bruce Banner. It's all been leading here. This is the last issue of Immortal Hulk, and it is $10. And it has got a bajillion, it's got 12 open order covers, I believe. So here we have the main cover that's a wraparound cover by Mr. Alex Ross. He's been doing them from the start. There's no point in stopping now. Main cover by Alex Ross. Kreese Lee, I don't know who that is, but gets a variant cover right there with Hulk fighting the Red Harpy. Jen Bartel has a very cool cover featuring the Abomination. Joe Bennett has a nice homage variant right there for you. Classic corner box with Marvel. Ryan Stegman has a foreshadow variant of Hulklops. Psy-Hulk, I don't know. He's got a jetpack. He's Boba the Fett. I don't know what's going on, but that's the Stegman foreshadow variant. We've got a Gary Frank variant cover that's pretty cool there. We've got a Sanford Green variant cover that's pretty neat as well. In-Hyuk Lee turning in a solid cover there. Joe Jusko's got another Marvel Masterpieces there. Classic Hulk versus Thing cover. This next one's my favorite. Mr. Garson lending his collage to Immortal Hulk #50. That's just cool. The face is cool. The colors are cool. That's just cool all the way around. Carlos Pacheco, we've got another cool Abomination cover there for you with weird hand face Abomination. I don't know. Ron Lim's got a variant harkening back to Immortal Hulk #2. And that's it. That's all. Those are all the covers. So I think that was 10, maybe 12. I don't know, but there's a ton, and they're all $10. So if you want them, let me know. If not, that's okay too. There's a lot. Next from Marvel comes Marvel Tales Ms. Marvel #1. This is just a one-shot. It's kind of, you've seen these before. These are cool because you've got, how many issues are in here? You've got Captain Marvel #17. You've got All New Marvel Now .1. You've got Ms. Marvel #1 and 2. So you've got like 4 comic stories in this one reprint for $8. So if you don't know anything about Kamala Khan, here is your chance. We've seen her in costume. I can't remember if that's from the Doctor Strange movie or if it's from a Disney Plus show. It's all just, my mind is mush. But we're going to see her live action on the either small or big screen very shortly. Catch up with all of Kamala Khan's information right there. $7.99. Marvel Tales Ms. Marvel #1. Just a one-shot. Next from Marvel, we've got a mini-series that's set in the world of Star Wars High Republic. This is Star Wars The High Republic Trial of Shadows. 5-issue mini-series. Jedi Knight and Private Eye team up to uncover a mystery that will change the High Republic forever. A Jedi Master is dead, another is in a state of complete shock. It's a murder the likes of which the Jedi Order have never seen before. There are no leads, no suspects, no motive. But Jedi investigator Emmerich Capthor, that sounds like Mike Tyson wrote that, Capthor, must solve the case before it's too late. The fate of the Jedi, the Hutts, the Nile, and everyone in the galaxy hangs by this tangled thread of lies and deceit. Emmerich will need to dive into the darkness, testing himself and his Jedi ideals like never before. He'll need help. Luckily, Private Eye Cian Holt lives in the dark. Together I don't know if she actually lives in the dark. Together they'll follow this trail of shadows wherever it leads, if they can work together, that is. So it's a buddy cop story set in the world of Star Wars. That sounds awesome. Main cover on the left by David Lopez. Variant cover right here beside me by Ario Anandito. $3.99. If you're subbed to High Republic, we will probably sub you to High Republic Trial of Shadows because that makes a whole lot of sense. So if you don't want that, please let us know. From AWA this week comes Out #1. This sounds awesome. In the waning days of World War II, with the Allies advancing, a desperate Nazi officer unearths an ancient force of evil that he hopes will turn the tide of battle. It's a vampire. To test the power of his secret weapon, he unleashes the monster on an unsuspecting group of Allied prisoners of war. It's up to Nakona, a Comanche language expert, to communicate with the vampire to find out what it really wants. Cover A, tell me what you want, what you really, really want. Cover A by Tim Bradstreet on the left. Cover B right here beside me by Mr. Mike Diodato. But that looks and sounds awesome. $4. Try it out. So it's at number 1. Okay, here we go. From Boom Studios this week. Oh, we've been talking about it for a while. There was a preview of it in Basilisk number 1 second print. There was a free comic book day book. Here it is, kids. It is on FOC. House of Slaughter number 1. Discover the inner workings of the House of Slaughter in this new horror series exploring the secret history of the order that forged Erica Slaughter into the monster hunter she is today. You know Aaron Slaughter as Erica's handler and rival, but before he donned the black mask, Aaron was a teenager training within the House of Slaughter. Surviving within the school is tough enough, but it gets even more complicated when Aaron falls for a mysterious boy destined to be his competition. Dive deeper into the world of Something is Killing the Children in this first story arc by co-creator James Tynion and co-writer Tate Bromble, with art by rising star Chris Sheehan, who did the Autumnal at Vault, and co-creator Werther Dell'Edera. There are four covers for issue number 1. Okay, so the A cover on the far left there is the main cover by Chris Sheehan. So that's what it's going to look like inside. The B cover right here beside me is by Werther Dell'Edera, the interior artist for Something is Killing the Children. Then, on the far left, you get a foil version of the A cover, which of course is $1 more than cover price. And lastly, there is a nice blank cover that gives you way more stuff to draw on than the Something is Killing the Children blanks. So 4 open order covers. Cover A by, I forgot his name already, Chris Sheehan. Cover B by Werther Dell'Edera. Cover C, foil Chris Sheehan. And cover D, which is a blank. $3.99 for the 3, $4.99 for the foil. But get your orders in. Again, we'll copy everybody who's on Something is Killing the Children onto House of Slaughter. If you would like more than one copy or more than one cover, please let us know before the end of the day on Monday. Okay? From Ablaze this week comes Sumerian Beyond the Black River number 1. The Pict country is an obscure jungle where the border between civilization and barbarism is thin. Only one thing symbolizes it, the Black River, which it is claimed that no white man was able to cross and come back alive, none except for Conan. It is in the heart of this green hell that the Sumerian meets Balthus, a young voluntary peasant whom he saves at the last minute from the clutches of the fierce Pictish warriors. Together they will try to lend a hand to the colonists who have established themselves here on these hostile lands in the last bastion of civilization. With a dozen men, they will have to find the powerful sorcerer Zogar Sag before he succeeds in uniting the clans and initiating his bloody invasion. Cover A on the left by Clara Tessier. Cover B is by Anthony Jean. Cover C is by Breno Tamara. And cover D is the homage variant by Mr. Fritz Cassis. Pretty cool Hulk parody there. From Dynamite this week comes Jennifer Blood number 1. She's a cool character, but does anybody care? So once upon a time, a suburban housewife spent her nights as a mobster murdering assassin named Jennifer Blood. Then she died, or did she? Because in the cozy cul-de-sacs of bountiful Utah, a noticeable number of normal people have gone missing. And by normal, I mean mobsters under witness protection. And by missing, I mean killed by someone that looks, sounds, and murders a lot like Jennifer Blood. Written by Fred Van Lente of Wolverine and with art by Vincenzo Federici from Red Sonja. We've got a whole mess of covers, as is tradition with Dynamite. Cover A on the left by Lucio Perillo, which looks like an 80s music video poster or something. Cover B right here beside me is by Joe Linsner. Cover D on the far left is by Larylix Lee. Cover D is by Jungin Yoon. Cover E is the cosplay cover over there on the far left. And of course, there is a blank. So 6 covers, Jennifer Blood number 1. From Aftershock this week comes Chicken Devil number 1. Mitchell Moss is about as regular as it gets. He's married with 2 children and co-owns a successful chain of Memphis hot chicken restaurants. That's as regular as it gets, right? It's not the life that screams hero vigilante until he discovers that his business partner is in bed with the mob and owes them $2 million. Unfortunately, Mitch is ill-equipped to be a badass. He's just a guy who makes really good chicken. Can he protect his family from cold-blooded gangsters? Absolutely not. But maybe the Chicken Devil can. Writer Brian Buccellato from Detective Comics, Flash, and Witchblade, and artist Hayden Sherman from Cold War and Mary Shelley Monster Hunter serve up a darkly comedic crime drama that's juicy, tender, and finger-licking hilarious. With a cover by Hayden Sherman, $4.99 from Aftershock. From Oni Press this week, we get Dirtbag Rapture #1. This sounds like it just sounds fun, just like Chicken Devil. She's stoned, she's selfish, she's all that stands between us and the end of the world. Where do you go when you die? Kat, a stoner with a flexible moral code, can answer that, and the answer is not very far. Unfortunately for Kat's peace of mind, a near-death experience has left her with the ability to see and hear ghosts as well as take them into her mindscape. That's a lot of finger quotes I've been doing on this show. So she can bring them to locations of their choosing, essentially playing transporter to the deceased. But when Kat discovers she's the key to a demonic plan to screw up the whole world, she's forced to take an active role in the battle between good and evil, and she's not thrilled about it. Cover A on the far left is by Kendall Good. Cover B right here beside me is by Malachi Ward. Dirtbag Rapture, $3.99 from Oni Press. Next from Oni comes Rick and Morty Presents Snuffles Goes to War #1. This is just a one-shot. Years ago, Morty's dog Snuffles left Earth to find a planet for his fellow canine kind. Now, at the height of their canine empire, war is coming. It's dog versus squirrel in a cosmic battle for the future of all good dogs. With a main cover by Devon Dowdy and a variant cover by Megan Huang, $4.99, Snuffles Goes to War. There were no subsequent prints at the time that I wrote this up yesterday. That may change between now and Monday, but I won't know and you won't know, so let's just all play a little dumb on that one, okay? But that does bring us to who does #2 work for. That's a little section where we highlight some of the issue #2s that are on FOC. Some of them may have come out this week, some of them in the weeks past. But if you got a copy and you read it and enjoyed it, please let us know, because we inevitably order less copies of issue #2 than we did for #1, and there's a chance that you might miss out. From Aftershock, we have Almost American #2. As the Newmans adjust to being strangers in a strange land, trying to work with the FBI and CIA, a mysterious man from their past begins a deadly hunt for them. The true story is captured by acclaimed comics scribe Ron Mars and hot new artist Marco Castiello, working closely with the Newmans. In the espionage world, truth is literally stranger than fiction. Okay, Almost American #2. From Dark Horse, this one just came out yesterday. It's already a $10 or $11 or $12 book. I don't know why. It's written by the guy who did Flash and Arrow. Last Flight Out #2 of 4. With less than 24 hours to go until the complete evacuation of Earth, scientist Ben Kaywood has to find his daughter in the lawless wasteland that is Chicago, Illinois. But things aren't exactly what they seem, and Ben isn't prepared for this issue's shocking final page twist. Wow, what a twist. From Dynamite, I think this one came out last week, Red Sonja, volume 11 bajillion #2. This one is written by Mirka Andolfo. This is Mother Part 2. Sonja struggles to recover from injuries, relying on Sitha to help her. Their bond grows as they travel from city to hamlet, and as Sonja discovers more about Sitha's past, the more dangerous their path becomes. The ongoing adventures continue. From Mirka Andolfo and Giuseppe Cafaro. Cover A on the left by Mirka Andolfo, cover B by Jay Anselato, cover C by Linsner, cover D by Erica D'Urso, and then of course there is a cosplay cover E. Okay. From Marvel this week, we've got Dark Ages #2 of 6. That one was last week, I believe. It's been years since the age of technology ended in a single moment, like a switch had been flicked to off for an entire planet. Excuse me. Now Earth's heroes attempt to bring humanity together in the darkness. X-Men and Avengers, vigilantes and villains all work together to create something better. But something darker than the night is descending on the world. Our post-apocalyptic world is about to face apocalypse. With a main cover on the left by Iban Coelho and a variant cover right here beside me by Megan Hetrick, $3.99, Dark Ages #2. That's it. I know that was long. I tried to fly through that as quickly as I could. The last little bit that we leave you with is the entire list of all of the stuff that's on FOC this week. The first chunk is all of your DC product. Unfortunately, we don't have any images or item codes for that, but what you can do, kids, is you can go to Lunar Distribution, if I could spell, .com. And right here on the landing page for Lunar Distribution, you have all of the information. I wish I could make this screen smaller. I don't know why it does that, but this little bar that you see right here in front of you are all the things that are on FOC this week, and you can pull up images, you can look at variants, you can see item descriptions, etc. For everything that is from Lunar this week. So that can be your tool to kind of check this out. Oh, that's a cool Batwoman cover for Urban Legends number 8, cover A. So that's one way that you can utilize the list from Lunar for DC right here. Then we get everything else. And again, this is a list that I copy from Diamond. So this list is still going to have Marvel stuff on it right here. Let's check and see, though, because like I said, Marvel is still going to be distributing, or I'm sorry, Diamond is still distributing Marvel comics, or they're wholesaling Marvel comics, I apologize. We're getting these books from Penguin Random House because we get a little bit of a better discount and we get free shipping, but let's check and see if they've updated any of the items. So we're going to check out the Amazing Spider-Man 75 Scotty Young cover. We're going to copy that item code. We're going to open a new web browser and paste that sucker into the search bar of your favorite web browser. The very first listing that comes up right there on the top is the previewsworld.com listing for Amazing Spider-Man 70. Holy crap, they did it! There it is. There's the Scotty Young cover for Amazing Spider-Man 75. So I'm going to have to grab this image and go drop that into my FOC post. This was the only cover that wasn't available through Penguin's FOC listing. There were a bunch that were missing from Diamond, so I had to go grab most of these from Penguin. So you can still use this list to your advantage. Let me get back to the list. That's, again, everybody that's still distributed through Diamond. So you got House of Slaughter from Boom. It's all broken down by publisher. So if there's anything that you have questions about, for some reason Ant is on FOC again for like the 4th week in a row, which we're not talking about. So there you go. But you can see here's all the Immortal Hulks. So you can check those out. What else? Star Wars Bounty Hunters number 5 is on FOC, and there's a bunch of different covers for that. But if you know, like I said, if you're interested in anything, please take the time to look through this list. Get an order together, send it over to us through Facebook, comment on the post, and we would be glad to order that for you. Please don't comment on this video because Facebook has pulled this video down in the past, and I don't want to risk losing that data. So if you go to the top of this post, there is a link in the description that will take you to the actual FOC post. Put your comments there. We'll make sure we get those all set up for you on Monday. Okay? If you have questions, please come in and talk to me. I like to be as transparent as possible about how all of this stuff works, but Monday is going to be a challenge because I have to order, from 2 different places. So get your orders in. The sooner the better, and we appreciate it. We thank you guys for taking the time to watch these things, to read through the posts, interacting with us. We appreciate your patronage. So we love you. Don't go anywhere. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you soon. Come get your comics. We'll be live tonight on the stream sale from 5 to 7, so make sure you join us there. I think that's it. I think that's all I have. So thank you. Be careful. Be safe. Have a good one.